How many of y'all? I was verbally abusive to these people. I didn't even know them. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. Come on, was it just me or you going to... And I woke up one morning and all hell had broken loose and I started receiving text messages from everywhere and I didn't really know what I had done wrong.
Right.
That's where I started.
Shaunie O'Neal and Pastor Keon Henderson just reached a whole new level. This isn't just a relationship falling apart. This is a full-on emotional roller coaster, and trust you won't want to miss this wild ride. From public appearances to cryptic social media posts, everyone had been speculating for a while now. And guess what? Pastor Keon has finally revealed exactly where he stands, and it's a bombshell you didn't see coming.
So that's literally how I lived my life. Even in my book now, writing about it, I was not comfortable telling my story because my story involves my mom, my story involves my dad, my story involves my ex-husband.
Shaunie, known for her strength, grace, and business acumen, has been through the ringer before. From her highly publicized divorce from Shaquille O'Neal to becoming a leading figure in entertainment, she's been a beacon of resilience. But after years of facing the highs and lows of her personal life in the public eye, it seems the storm she's facing now might just be the one that tests her the hardest.
You know, he supports me in a relationship. I support him. We have a great, co-parenting relationship.
Shaunie and Pastor Keon Henderson's love story looked like something out of a modern fairy tale. From the moment they met, sparks flew. Keon, a well-known pastor, and Shaunie, a reality TV mogul, seemed to be the perfect power couple. They shared values, faith, and respect for one another. Their wedding in 2022 was the pinnacle of their union. A beautiful ceremony in Anguilla, with Shaunie rocking that champagne-coloured dress, and her 5 kids with Shaquille proudly walking her down the aisle. The picture-perfect wedding had all the ingredients of a storybook ending. Love, family, faith, and a whole lot of public admiration.
Oh my God, that is beautiful. Beautiful.
Together, they were more than just partners. They were an example of love and trust, especially to the fans who had watched Shaunie juggle life as a mum, entrepreneur, and television star. The world looked on as they shared their happy moments on social media. Vacations, date nights, spiritual connections, and that beautiful love that looked unbreakable. But as time went on, cracks started showing in the foundation of their perfect image.
So I first started off confused, regretful. Steve Harvey told me, he said, regret is the most worthless emotion in the earth. Those are his kids.
Over time, the glamour of their relationship started to fade, and fans began to notice. At first, the couple's social media posts slowed down. Shaunie, known for sharing intimate moments of her life, began to share less and less about Keon. The once happy, love-filled captions turned more generic and cryptic, leaving fans to wonder if something was brewing under the surface. Was their relationship still as solid as it seemed?
The lies. I started out when I got the divorce with so many lies. Me and my mama were stealing money and all types of stuff. So now I'm kind of numb to it. It's unfortunate. I hate it for my husband, though.
And it wasn't just the fans who were starting to take notice. Media outlets began speculating that there was more to the story than the public had been led to believe. Keon started attending events without Shaunie, something that was out of character for the couple. Their interactions, once so loving and public, began to feel distant and less frequent. It felt like something had shifted, and the mystery surrounding their relationship grew.
That has the most complicated lock, of which only a single key can open, she is very, very apt.
The rumors about their relationship became too loud to ignore, and eventually, the truth came crashing down. Shaunie made a public post on Instagram revealing that her marriage to Pastor Keon had ended, and the reason was devastating: Keon's infidelity. This wasn't just a minor disagreement, this was the final straw. Shaunie shared her heartbreak, revealing that discovering the truth about Keon's betrayal felt like an emotional gut punch. For many of her fans, her open and vulnerable post was an inspiration to never settle for less and to prioritize self-worth.
Yes, and I'm so sorry. So that's all I can say, but it's like, I feel horrible.
But Shaunie's message wasn't one of anger or bitterness. No, she was above all that. She shared that she and Keon had decided to part ways after a lot of prayer, thought, and honest conversations. While she acknowledged the love they still shared, she made it clear that sometimes two people can love each other, but realize they are on different paths. Her words were not just comforting, but also empowering, showing her fans that they, too, can get through life's storms with strength and grace.
Hey, like, I'm not, like, get a girlfriend or something. I don't know.
Dang, Shaunie!
We kind of teased each other in that way.
Fans flooded her comments with support, applauding her for handling this heartbreak in a way that many can only aspire to. "Shaunie, you've always been full of grace and strength. This too shall pass," one fan commented. Another added, "This is heartbreaking, but it's also a reminder that no one is ready for betrayal." Shaunie's response to this painful situation has become a beacon of hope, especially for women who've gone through similar struggles. She's showing the world that even in the face of betrayal, you can rise above it and take control of your destiny.
Yeah, I think, yes, you do, but at the same time, you do think, okay, we're getting married, we're having kids, we're a family. Things are gonna change.
While Shaunie is publicly moving on with strength and maturity, Pastor Keon Henderson has kept notably quiet. As the accusations of infidelity spread like wildfire, the one person fans were hoping would speak up, Keon, has remained silent. Many expected him to deliver a heartfelt sermon or make a public statement addressing the situation, but instead he chose to stay out of the spotlight.
I've learned this. One of the things that causes a woman to lock the keys to her heart, and I know infidelity will do it.
Keon's silence has only fueled the fire, leaving people wondering if he's avoiding the consequences of his actions or if he simply has no defense to offer. Sources close to his church have revealed a divided congregation. While some members continue to support him, citing his previous dedication to his ministry, others are starting to question his integrity. This is a man whose entire reputation was built on faith and accountability. But now, his silence is being seen by many as a refusal to take responsibility for the betrayal.
As a pastor, I know the difference between disturbance and worship. And what people have to understand is that every time you hear a noise in church, it isn't worship.
The fallout has been immense. Not only has it damaged his personal relationships, but it's also started to affect his career. Reports indicate that attendance at his church services has dropped significantly since the scandal broke. People who once saw him as a spiritual leader are now wondering how they can trust someone who betrayed his own vows, let alone preach about faith and integrity.
And so he has first right of refusal. Yeah. Those are his children. I never walked into his children's life trying to be their father. What I said to each one of them individually is, what do you need me to be?
As the story unfolded, the public reaction became heated. On social media, hashtags like Shaunie Speaks Out and Pastor Keon Exposed started trending, with fans and critics alike weighing in on the scandal. Shaunie's fans have been rallying behind her, praising her for choosing herself and walking away from a relationship that no longer served her. Many have expressed disappointment in Keon, saying, how could he preach about faith while living a double life? This sentiment is widespread, and Pastor Keon now finds himself at the center of a moral and spiritual crisis.
Yeah, I mean, along with, I think Keon helps me, he motivates me to just be a better person every day, make better decisions, show a lot more grace.
On the other hand, some fans have come to Keon's defense, arguing that everyone makes mistakes and that his spiritual teachings shouldn't be disregarded because of personal failings. However, the silence and lack of accountability on his part make it hard for many to separate the man from the message he preaches. It's a tricky situation that has no easy answers, but one thing is certain. Pastor Keon's reputation has taken a serious hit, and his future as a spiritual leader is uncertain.
Take you around to the celebrity homes. We were eating somewhere, and they drove by, and he was like, they stop and they taking the pictures. He was like, "This is my life." And I'm like, "No, kind of."
While the world is focused on the drama surrounding Pastor Keon, Shaunie has made it clear that she's not going to let this scandal define her. Shaunie O'Neal has always been about resilience, and this chapter is no different. After her divorce from Shaquille, she rebuilt her life and thrived as an entrepreneur and television producer, and now she's doing it again.
And I protected my space. Yeah. I shared what I wanted to share specifically. I grew up in a house where my mother was like, what goes on in our house stays in this house.
Shaunie has been spotted back on the set of Basketball Wives, a show she helped turn into a cultural phenomenon. She's as focused on her career as ever, and she's clearly not letting this setback hold her back. Her Instagram is filled with motivational quotes, posts about her kids, and glimpses of her life as she continues to move forward. In one post, she wrote, "Pain doesn't define you. How you rise from it does." And her fans couldn't agree more. This is the kind of resilience people admire. She's using her pain as fuel to push herself to greater heights.
Like, I remember, if y'all do get my Audible and my voice sounds monotone, is because I was in a sunken place that day because of that man getting online and saying that about me, because all I was thinking about was my husband.
Now, the big question on everyone's mind. What's next for Pastor Keon? Can he recover from this scandal? Or is this the moment that will define his career? The road ahead for him is unclear, and many are wondering if he'll ever be able to repair his reputation in the eyes of his congregation and the public. Will he address the allegations head-on, or will he continue to stay silent? Can a man of faith truly move past such a betrayal? Only time will tell, but right now, things aren't looking too promising for him.
And that's probably a complete delusional thought process. Right. But you do think that, or you have those hopes and like, you know what, this will all stop, it'll all go away.
In the end, this entire situation is a lesson in resilience. Shaunie O'Neal has shown the world that, no matter what life throws at you, you have the power to rise above. Even in the face of betrayal, she's choosing to prioritize herself, her family, and her future. Whether it's through her business ventures, her role on Basketball Wives, or through using her platform to inspire others, Shaunie is turning this painful chapter into something that can help others.
Yeah, I think we both support each other. Like, I used to tease him and be like, could you please hurry up and get a wife? And then you could stop, randomly FaceTiming me and talking about your day.
As for Pastor Keon, his journey remains uncertain. His silence and the controversy surrounding his actions will undoubtedly affect how the world views him moving forward. Will he find redemption? Or is this the moment that defines his legacy? What do you guys think? Will Shaunie rise above this scandal and turn her pain into power? Or will this betrayal haunt her for good? And what about Pastor Keon? Can he ever redeem himself after this? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Celeb Titbits for more updates on this unfolding drama. Stay tuned, because you won't want to miss the next twist in this rollercoaster story.